Hello! Today I'm going to give you my top tips to help Demi application go a little bit faster. But first, I want to say that the best thing that you can do is to educate yourself. So if you have not watched all of my instructional videos on how to get started with Demi, that's the first place you're gonna wanna start. You can't shortchange learning it. And unfortunately, there is no shortcut to that. But once you get it down, I want to give you my top tips for how to speed up Demi application. So first things first, if you are used to wearing eye makeup and you love your eyes to be a little bit more glam, then I suggest always starting with your eye makeup done, just like you see I have right now. I've found that I don't really feel like I've got a finished look unless my eyes are done. So I always do my eyes first. And a lot of times, Demi is not enough for me. I do want more of a dramatic look. So I do use regular eyeshadow and mascara. So that's my first tip. My second tip is to start with toning and sculpting. If you haven't watched the toning and sculpting video, go back and watch that because that's going to be a huge help for you. But that's where we're gonna start today. And then I will tell you my last tip when we get to it. So I have my eye makeup done and I am going to start with toning and sculpting because first I want us to look at my face right now. You probably see way less distractions than I do. So I just want to show you my regular face. I've got my eye makeup done. Probably most of you think I can go out like this and that I would look beautiful like this because we are our worst critics, okay? So I'm gonna show you most of the time, the reason why Demi takes so long is because we're getting in our own way. So first things first, we're gonna tone and sculpt, and I think you will find that this is gonna make a huge difference for you. So I'm going to start with my lighter areas. See, I have like a break in my melasma right there, so I like to start there. That area is a light green, so I'm going to use NR, which is a red sculpt to add color there, and then I'll also be adding some NV because it has some yellow in it and I want to bring more darkness there. So first I'm doing the red and now I'm going to add a little NV. And see how that made that uniform right there? So that's what I'm going to be doing first all over my face. Okay. Now, I'm going to blend this part out. This is a lighter part. I have a bigger jawline, so this is just how I like to sculpt. So I'm gonna add some NR right here just to kind of make this area go. And that's just kind of toning and sculpting at the same time. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to my forehead. This is a really, it's like a light green. So first I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add NR, which is gonna give me the warmth and take away the green. And then for some depth near my hairline, I'm gonna add NV, which will give me some darkness closer to my hairline. Okay, now that I've got my cheek area uniform, I'm gonna go in and just tone the sculpted area because I already have sculpt there. This has excess blue in it, which is why it's so dark. So I'm gonna be using NO, neutral orange. And it's gonna neutralize the blue and just make it a really pretty warm sculpt. See that? This side has blue as well, so I'll be using NO here. Okay. Now, if I want to add pretty color, or warmth, almost like a bronzer, I can go in with some of my brighter Demi colors. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use this R07, and this is OY1, and mixed together it makes like the most beautiful bronze color. So I'm gonna do the R07 first, and then I'm gonna top it with that OY. Just see how pretty and warm that is. And then I'm also gonna add some R07 to the tops of my cheekbones. Just because I want a deeper color there. But then I'm gonna use kind of a mix of my 05 and 07. These are my new favorite colors. And I'm using those colors on my cheeks because my cheeks have a lot of blue in them. And this just happens to be a beautiful color on my cheeks. Like if you find that your cheeks have more yellow in them, you might want to use some of the violet colors. If they have more green in them, you might want to use some of the pink colors, still using the opposite on the color wheel. And it really is so pretty. So I've done my sculpt. I'm gonna do my nose because I like to sculpt my nose. That helps me feel finished. Okay, so now I've got my whole face toned and sculpted. Would you say that you think I need to do anything else? Because now we're moving on to my third tip. My third tip is for you to really sit back after you've done your tone and sculpt and to only pick out your top distractions, meaning the things that are like screaming at you. So if I was looking at my face right now, really the only distracting things that I'm seeing right here are right here, okay? But I'm gonna pick out my top ones. Basically, my third tip is for you to get over yourself and see yourself the way the rest of the world sees you. Because when we get all micro zeroed in on our face, I could correct things forever. Let me show you what I would probably correct if I was micro looking at my face. Okay, all of these melasma spots, all of these individual melasma spots, all over my upper lip. I'm gonna correct all of this in here. This, I'll probably hit all of these dark freckles right here, right here. Now I'm gonna go into my under eye, even though when I'm looking at myself back here, it looks bright and beautiful. All right, so under eye, I'm gonna get this melasma right here. Let's see. Oh, my chin. Now I'm gonna hit all these dark spots in my chin, and then I'm gonna brighten up this melasma right here and here and here and here and here and here, and then all around my mouth. And then I'm gonna get this melasma here, and I'm gonna lighten up this melasma. Did you guys see any of that when I was just talking to you? So that's what we do to ourselves. So my third tip, get over yourself and start seeing yourself the way the rest of the world sees you. Because you are way more beautiful than you give yourself credit for. So I'm going to pick my top distractions, which is going to be this, this, this. I'm going to brighten a little bit. As a final touch, I'm going to brighten around my mouth, and then I'm going to put some lip gloss on and call it a day. Top distraction right now is the darkness that I'm seeing on the side of my eyes. So I have to ask myself, is it excessively dark? Yes, it's excessively dark. Is it excessively saturated? No, it's not saturated. It's dull, and it's actually hard to see what color it is, which means it's muddy, so it is probably green. So I'm going to go into my R01 to filter it out. Okay, see how we're taking that away? Now I've just got a little bit left right here. Okay, let's move to this side. All right, these are actually darker than the other side, which means they have more blue in them. So I'm gonna start with my O1 on the darkest points because orange is the opposite of blue. Now that I got the darkest points, I'm gonna go more towards the pink, but it's still, I'm gonna be using RO, which means it's for greenish blue. Okay, so that's gone. Now I want to move into, I've just got a lot of unevenness right there. So I'm gonna hit that. I have to ask myself, is it excessively dark? It is. I see it. It's darker than my skin tone. Is it excessively saturated? And it is. It is. It's got some vibrancy to it, which means it's in the violet family. So I'm going to be using an orangish yellow to take those out. Okay, so now I've got this dark spot here. It's dark and dull and muddy, so it is in the green family. So I'm going to use a pink color on it with some orange in it. It's important to step back because if I stay in this close-up mirror, I could keep going all day. So I gotta step back. Okay. All right. I'm gonna brighten around my lips because I like to do that. And I'm gonna use an orange to do it on this side because it's got a lot of blue. See how it just makes that pop? I'm using more of a pink on the other side because it's got more green. I'm gonna brighten. See, now if I start coming in, I'm gonna start going, oh, these spots, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be done because I look beautiful just like this. So I'm just gonna brighten the center of my chin. It's got some vibrancy to it, so I'm gonna be using YO1. Okay, we're done. Now, I did some instruction in here and this video is now at 21 minutes. Now, if I hadn't talked, we'd probably be more around 15 minutes. So this is how you're gonna do Demi a little bit faster. Number one, start with your eye makeup, done. Number two, always tone and sculpt first. And number three, stand back from the mirror and truly only pick your top distractions and then move on. Do not get up in the mirror like this and look at your distractions because then you'll be there all day. And then remember, before you can do any of this, you gotta learn it. If you learn it, it will definitely go faster and then you'll know what you're doing instead of guessing what you're doing. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.